Welcome to the Sports Council.
Still definitely like grandpa ball to everyone. Yeah, but you can do the same thing in your own sport, and we're just doing it back to back.
The council is now in session.
With a personality shaped by being an athlete and a background in mainstream sports media, I found that the stories I was most interested in telling were the ones often overlooked, the ones that might not otherwise be told, the ones that show the intangible and not just the highlight reel. The Sports Council is about highlighting the great, the good, the unique, and everything in between in the Pacific Northwest sports world. I'm Jamie Council. Thanks for joining me.
You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports. The council is now in session.
Brian Thomas, head coach for Chiawana Slow Pitch.
A lot of people don't know that there is slow pitch softball. So what is the history of the sport being brought back into the high school arena?
I think they were really looking for an avenue to get more students involved in sports. And so they brought that around for hopefully catching some of the students who might not make volleyball or might not do other winter sports and kind of bring it back. But I think it's kind of heating up. Like, people are learning. There's good competition. Girls are getting skills out here. You're just getting massive reps when you're playing slow pitch. There is no pitcher overpowering anybody, so everyone's hitting, everyone's fielding, and it's just building. It's been fun. It's been fun to watch over the last, I think this is our 6th year that they brought it back. I believe Spokane was doing it for about 10 years before that. So just having it back in the fold here in the Tri-Cities has been great.
And making it easier to play also makes it harder to be successful at, because the room for error is that much smaller if everybody's hitting. So talk about how the sport is easier and harder at the same time.
I think the easier piece is obviously the hitting, which is where we hear from a lot of people they don't want to mess up their swings for fast pitch or do things. But it's really a fundamental piece. Like, you have to, in slow pitch, you have to watch the ball. It's all technique. If you don't have good fundamentals, you're not going to get good hits. So it kind of shows you have to do the basics well. Like I said, no one's getting overpowered by a good pitcher. So everyone's going to get the opportunity to hit, and I think that's kind of where you build. And then defensively, there's 4 outfielders typically on a team. Some teams will play 5 infielders, but it gives you less grass to, I guess, get hits on. So you got to learn to hit the ball hard and hit your spots.
And you guys know how to be successful, back-to-back state champions in slow pitch. And so talk a little bit about the team this year, because you guys are ranked at the top once again.
Yeah, no, we've been lucky the last few years. We got a good core group of girls. We lost 6 seniors last year, but we picked up probably 4 new players who were playing on our fast pitch program and came in to play with us. And just watching our JV program grow over the years, I think our JV lost 1 game this year. So they've kind of built themselves up, and it's kind of starting to become a program as a whole where it kind of feeds itself, and we continue to get good girls in the program. So makes it easy to keep winning. We're having fun with it. So hopefully things keep going our way.
Yeah, you guys definitely have fun. I think it was this interview about the same time last year I came out here and was taking pictures, and it was pajama day. Yeah. So that was great to have, these could be the state champions, right, and they're all in onesies.
Yeah, no, they like to have fun. That's kind of one of the things we stress out here is we want to keep it lighthearted. I feel like girls play better when they're loose and they're not stressed about things. And so as open and fun as we can make it, that's what we want to do.
Talk about some of the pieces on this team.
This team, like, I hate to try and compare all our teams, but this team, the bats are exceptional. Like 1 through 14, everybody can hit. I think our 14th batter, we had a couple new girls come out this year that I hadn't seen before, and then the first day when we were throwing batting practice during tryouts, some people were hitting the balls over the fence, and I'm like, geez, like, this team can hit hard. And so what we see in practice, I'm just trying to stress to them, like, we got to show everyone else how hard you guys hit, because I get nervous playing infield when they're in batting practice. And so I just want them to transcend that to the field during games and not be nervous, but just stay loose and hit the ball hard. Defensively, I think we look like we always do. We got major speed in the outfield, arms everywhere. Our infield solid. I'm comfortable with our team. We have a really good team.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you're talking about the bats, I have seen you guys the past 2 years win state, and you guys kind of rely on defense, because that's one thing with slow pitch is once a team gets warmed up on the bats, they trickle down and trickle fast.
Oh, absolutely. And it's contagious. Like I always tell them, I hate home runs because it kind of kills the rally that's going on. Of course, that's what they want to do, is hit the home run. So, but it's good. Like we do notice it. Once some of those bats get going, it just ease and we just kind of get rolling.
Being back-to-back state champions, I feel like sometimes it's hard to keep up that same intensity. Sometimes you get complacent. Sometimes you think, well, we're the best, and it's just more of a mental game. How have you guys overcome that perhaps this season, if you've seen anything of that?
No, I think more so the challenge comes from outside our program, I think, because people expect championships now. Oh, you guys are going to win 3 in a row. Well, it's not that easy. We got teams we got to beat, and there's good teams out there. So trying to keep level-headed here at practice, even when we're playing teams that we might be beating pretty well, focusing on fundamentals, getting everyone to get together and at least focus on the little details. And then we have spent a lot of time this year on teams, just being a good teammate, not trying to get into the hurt feelings or if I'm not playing enough, because everyone on this team is good enough to play at all times. So I think that's been our biggest struggle this year. But keeping them focused on the title, that's been their goal all year, and we'll continue to shoot for that.
And who would you say are the biggest team leaders? There's some girls that you guys were so young a couple years ago, and now you see the same faces. They're just more experienced. So who are those team leaders?
I would say our team leaders this year, Kennedy McBride, one of our catchers, very loud. You can hear her yelling in the background right now. Loud voice, very energetic, always upbeat. Jess, our shortstop, very in the field, kind of the general, will talk, do everything. Adriana Rodriguez, our outfielder, she's always very vocal, but more so leads by example. You'll notice at practice she's always flying around places, always doing the right things. So I think having that. And then we got a mix of a couple new seniors this year who are very vocal and keep people upbeat. And so it's nice to have some new personalities around as well.
Yeah, and earlier you mentioned how slow pitch is growing, and I think we've seen that with, them splitting up the divisions. Talk about some of the ways that it is growing that you've seen, which makes it both fun because now you have new competition, but also harder to be at the top.
Right. No, I think the programs that are in now, most of them are starting to get JV programs, so they're actually getting more girls involved in the sport. I have heard a rumor, I don't know if it's true, that some of the Kennewick schools may be coming in. Hopefully that's true, because I think we have some really good talent here in the Tri-Cities. And every time we go places, people are always asking me, when's Richland, Kamiak, and Kennewick? When are they going to get into the league? I hope it's soon, but just focused on our program, we've built to where this year we actually had to do cuts for the first time. And we've never had to do that, but just because there's not C teams yet at the slow pitch level. It's just varsities and JVs. But good to see that other schools are getting them so we can keep everybody involved.
And when you said yes to taking over a slow pitch softball program, when you said yes to think about back-to-back state championships, you have to cut players. What's that been like for you? You didn't know what you're getting into.
You're right. The first few years, it's always been fun for us. We try and bring that fun atmosphere out here, but it is the stress levels kind of go up once you start. That pressure's there to win, and more so, I think, from a coaching standpoint, knowing the talent level of my girls and not wanting to let them down. They're good enough to be at that title level, and keeping them engaged and keeping them building so that we're not doing them harm when it comes fast pitch season. They're playing good ball right now. But yeah, the cuts this year, having to do that was probably the hardest thing I've done. Like, I do not want to let people down, and you encourage people to come out for a sport, and not having enough spots is hard, and it's hard to let people down, especially when you're trying to build and keep the program going at Chiawana.
And what's the relationship like with you and Matt Hirai? That you want them on both teams, but at the same time you are separate sports,
right.
But you share the same girls. So what's that relationship like?
We have a great relationship. Matt supports our program 100%. He's been one of the biggest influencers in trying to get more girls out for us, and vice versa. Like, when we get the girls to come out for us, hopefully we make it fun enough where they continue to play fast pitch in the spring and just kind of keep that program feeding itself. But he's easy to work with. Matt's a great guy, great coach. Summertime, sometimes we'll come out and do some stuff together with the girls. I think the trickiest part for us has been for people sometimes to take us more serious, even though we're slow pitch coaches. Like, they think it's an easier game, or it's not as serious. And so just trying to build that and kind of show them what we got.
Exactly, that's something where you think slow pitch, and I think we kind of had the funny conversation last year on the show was people think of it like, oh, it's beer league softball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I even have, like, some of my baseball boys will be like, come on, it's slow pitch. Like, well, you can come out at any time and try and stop these balls that are getting shot at you. So no, it's like, they're for real. Everyone on this team can ball, and if you watch them play, you wouldn't think it's that easy.
And I think it's a lot more fun to watch because of the amount of hits. It's kind of like taking football, going from full-length field to an indoor game where there's so much scoring. That's kind of where my mind goes, where it's an easier game, but there's more scoring, and because it's easier, it's a lot harder to find that success.
Right. No, it's easy to have, like, we'll play sometimes. We have a 15-run rule after 3, 10 after 5. But last week we gave up 11 runs in one inning. So it's easy for teams to have a really good inning and put up a ton of runs on you without really thinking about it. So you always have a shot to stay in games, and there is usually the scores get pretty high. So.
Yeah. Was that the game that you guys split with Walla Walla?
Yes. Yeah, the first game they were up on us 15-0, and we ended up coming back and losing 15-12. And then the next game was 23-10. So a lot of runs in both games. That Walla Walla team can hit. They're impressive. I look forward to hearing them make some noise at the 3A level.
And Chiawana High School is known for its athletic success. You take a look, football, winning the MCC, wrestling, three-peat, and there's a lot of great programs. But you guys are right there, back-to-back state champions. So you talked about trying to get other people to take you guys seriously. Have you seen that around campus?
Around campus, I think we've started to get some. Like, we've snuck a couple people from the soccer program and a couple people from the volleyball program. So I think people are starting to learn, like, it's a legit sport, and you're going to have fun and come out, and we're going to do our best to win titles. Hopefully they're not just coming out to try and get the ring, but to be a part of our team and part of our program.
You guys are really close. Everybody uplifts everybody, and I've seen it. What do you do to kind of curate that? Because it's like you said, it's fun winning, but you wouldn't be winning without that team piece where they all play for each other.
Yeah. No, and I think that's one of those things you constantly have to pay attention to. It's real easy for attitudes to kind of stray or problems to linger if you don't address them. And so we always try and make sure after every game we talk with our girls as a team. If we notice something's going on, we'll sit them all down as a group or break them out individually. But I want to know about problems that are going on, and I want to keep it fun, and I want to make sure our heads are in the right spot.
Not putting the cart before the horse here, but what would that mean to you and the girls?
It would be a huge accomplishment. I think with that pressure that some people have put on them, like, you got to win it again and you got to win it again. It would be huge, and it would continue to bring people out for our program. I think it would be bigger for sports around the Tri-Cities. Hopefully it gets some of them other schools that want to come and take that away from us, and hopefully they'll get involved in the sport, and it continues to grow that way too.
Yeah, Kamayakan doesn't like hearing that you guys are winning and they're not, but they don't have a chance if they don't have a team.
Right. So hopefully, though, but even for the competitive nature, like I didn't even mind losing the one game last week against Walla Walla because it was good games. It's good competition, and those are fun. That's what drives fans to come out. The games are exciting. The weather was terrible, but other than that, it was like that was a fun night. We enjoyed it.
You can't control the weather at the end of the day. Well, that is all I have for you.
Perfect.
Best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're going to hear from our sponsors. When we come back on the Sports Council, we'll hear from a couple of Chiawana players.
You're listening to Jamie Council on the Sports Council.
Dang, Alyssa, that's gone.
Yay, Jay!
Alyssa, practice your mega whip.
Wait. I want to see the mega whip. Mega whip! Okay. I'm Kennedy McBride. I'm the catcher, and I'm a senior here at Chiawana.
I'm Jessica Melendez. I'm the shortstop, and I'm a junior here at Chiawana High School.
So you guys are preparing for state. Just talk about the energy out here.
The energy is always so good, so positive, and this week we're definitely hitting it a little harder than we usually do, but it's still the most positive and like the best energy ever.
We all take practice very seriously. We do everything our best so we can prepare for a state, and we always stay focused. We're positive to each other, and I think that's going to make a long way towards state.
Kind of having the pressure of back-to-back state champions, have you guys felt that? I'm sure people are saying like, oh, well, you've won twice, this should be easy.
Yeah, there's definitely a pressure, but it doesn't feel as harsh or as like intimidating as people would think, because like we're like a family. We're really close. We're all like best friends, and we know that we're capable of more than what we already put out. And so it's just to have a fun time.
We stay calm, and we go through we go through everything, and we always like make our practices fun. So like our pressure's kind of off of us. Like we know what we can do and what we're capable of, so we're ready for this.
And you guys both play slow pitch and fast pitch?
No, I do not play fast pitch. I did, but not this year. Maybe. It's a maybe, but maybe. It's a maybe.
What's the decision to play slow pitch, even though, everybody thinks of high school softball, you think fast pitch,
yeah.
But, it's definitely becoming more mainstream. So what is your reasoning?
Well, it's definitely also like the mental thing is a lot. If you don't want as competitive, because I grew up competitive my whole life, and it's a completely different game mentally, and it's not as demanding on your body. Yeah.
I do play fast pitch and slow pitch, and they're two different sports, but like they're both fun, and they're really enjoyable, and I love playing both of them. So I think it's just both of them are just great.
And what do you think about the people that say, oh, slow pitch might ruin you for fast pitch, or, some parents don't want their kids playing? Have you experienced any difficulties going between them, even though you said it is a different game? So what's your take on that?
I've actually never really experienced like different things, like going from slow pitch to fast pitch. Like I am on a travel ball team, so like I do play during the fall, and so like I've never really experienced just the difference like of like obviously no stealing or like leading off the bag, but like honestly like timing's different, but like the swing I honestly don't feel like it changes much. So I think it's fun to play and it's nice.
And what about around school, where you have a lot of successful sports programs at Chiawana, but slow pitch is right there, back-to-back state champions? What are those conversations like in the hallway?
Slow pitch is still definitely like grandpa ball to everyone. Everyone's like, I could hit it over the fence just like nothing. It's just like, but also comparing us to like other sports is like, yeah, but you can do the same thing in your own sport, and we're just doing it back to back. But definitely the people, like football players, have the most to complain about it, because we're doing way better than them. Not in a mean way. Yeah, it's a different game, but it's funny. It's just laughs in the hallways.
Yeah, like I've been seeing like a lot of like more students and like teachers coming up to us and like talking about it more because like we're back to back like state champs, and so like it's obviously a big thing like at our school, and so like we like to like show like what we did and stuff like that. So like I think like we've been getting a lot more like congratulations, and like, how are you guys doing during the season? Like, how do you think you guys are gonna do? Like, just more questions about it, cause like obviously like they know that we're good. So yeah, I think we've gotten a lot more like attention in slow pitch, so which is a good thing.
Yeah, whether or not it's grandpa ball or whatever people want to say about it, you can take a look at sports, non-contact sports, because that's all they think is hit hard, run, like whatever, even though you guys hit really hard.
Yeah, we hit really hard.
It's not comparable to
There's no
golf. It's
contact.
not comparable to bowling or things like that, where it is... It's a little bit more competitive than that, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you guys are the best in the state at doing it.
Yeah, we're very competitive.
Yeah, we
with
are.
with ourselves. We push ourselves each other not that don't go as hard as fast pitch, but we're right there. Like, we push ourselves even though it's slower pace. We push ourselves,
and we also push each other to like the
Yeah.
point like we want to like make each other better. Like we want to so we
support our teammates
Yeah.
so fully. It's crazy.
Who's the funniest person on the team?
Probably Eli, our coach.
Oh, Eli, our coach, he has to be the funniest person.
He's very dramatic. He's very
Well,
passionate.
somebody on the team has to be dramatic, and it's not going to be the bunch of you girls.
Maybe Gabby. Gabby's really funny.
Maybe Gabby, yeah.
Yeah, Gabriella. Our Gibby. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you guys do off the field? You guys are a very close group.
Yeah, I would consider all of us are friends, and all of us can talk to each other. And some of us do hang out in the same group, and we go to football games together. We do a lot of things together, and we have our team dinners.
Yeah, we do have team dinners, and that's what brings us together. We have them like before our games, so like we love to do that. Like, it's team bonding. Like, we get to like talk to each other and just hang out, and like what she said, we do things like football games and go to like sporting events together. So it's fun.
Yeah, and we fundraise together, and we have Spirit Week coming up. So like, I think everyone's just looking forward to that. Yeah.
That's fun. And with you guys possibly getting three-peat, what does that mean?
Ooh, she's got hit in the face. Sorry. Jess, you want to go first with that one?
I think that will mean a lot to us. Like, we like show a whole bunch of effort at practice. Like, we practice our hardest. So like, if we do get 3 back-to-back state championships, like, that'd be amazing. I think we work really hard for this. So like, that would be like very awesome, and that I think Yeah,
to get back-to-back, 3 times, it would definitely be like just to show our hard work, because we are out here working and trying to be better than everyone else, and we look at everyone and we compare ourselves to them, and like, we try to make ourselves like, we go for our own weaknesses and build them up, and it'll just show like that we want this more and more. Like, it won't just be 3 times. We want it to be 4 or 5. So like, we want it to keep going, and we want it to be a tradition, like kind of like our gravel pit. We want it back to back to back to back. We're trying to get it there
as many times as we can.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, best of luck, girls.
Thank you.